Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing on this cloudy, mostly sunny, I don't know what it is, Friday morning, May 23rd? That's when I'm doing this voiceover. So we have a pretty decent operations video. I know in my update I said it was only like 18 minutes or something like that, but when I put it together I forgot that I still had like 10 or 12 slides to put together, so it ended up being like 27 minutes, almost 28 minutes long. So here we have the, we'll get right into it. The yard crew is putting together, well, they're sorting cars out a little bit, but they're going to start putting together the Edbf turn, which is the East Deerfield, Bellows Falls turn. And shortly we're going to have Edhc come rolling back in, which is the Edhc turn. Yeah, I'm sorry, Edhc. East Deerfield Boiled Chickadee turn is coming back. You should see him in the frame momentarily. There they are. They're going to roll in on track number 1. You see the main lines on the far left. Yard track 1 is the next track over. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and the yard crew's currently on track 5 now. So that kind of gives you a better perspective. Track 6 is pretty much the runaround for the yard, or if they need to spot a car there for a few minutes or whatever the case may be. So I had a rain day yesterday. We had a nor'easter come rolling in, and did a little bit more work on the incline. Finally got some track laid down and up and running. So we're almost to the second level. I still have, I have to put the second level up minus one section. I got one section up, and it's just temporarily up for now. And I have some wood to start building the other modules. Their Edhc crew is going to go park their locomotive, and then the yard crew will be able to continue on with their yard duties. Yeah, so May's been a pretty wet month thus far. A lot of rain, but it's helping everything grow, so, I'm not complaining, being a landscaper and all. Let it grow. I'm putting in some long days. I hope everybody has some good plans for this Memorial Day weekend. I'm taking a 3-day weekend, so I'll have a few long days next week, but I'm not stressing it. It's all work, so work is work. So at this point, we're going to start getting the Edbf train together. I do believe I want to say there was a car or 2 that I needed from this train as well, so. This is kind of what happens when you film, certain times, different days. Like I probably built this train maybe over a week's time. I did maybe few minutes here and there basically, and just kind of took some video instead of doing it all in one shot. Thus the reason I'm doing a voiceover this morning. Don't we call it operations and chit chat, right? So actually, I believe what I'm doing now is I'm moving this whole cut of cars over on the track 2 because we have Moed coming into the yard. It should be in frame in a second. Moed is Mohawk Yard, which I believe is in New York. There it is right there. You can see it at the top right of your screen. And it is comes to East Deerfield. So it's Moed. And they're pulling in on track 1. Safely, of course. You don't want any accidents. I figured I'd do this voiceover before I went to work this morning so I could post this tomorrow. I want to see about getting a microphone. Maybe this way I don't have to hold the phone so close when I'm talking. A little double action going on. You can see the power right in the very front there for the Edbf turn. We're going to use the X Conrail SD35. So I believe the yard crew had to move their locomotive because I think that's what we're doing here. Yeah, they had to move because their locomotive was still on the ladder itself. They weren't actually going to be able to. They weren't. They were basically going to be in the way, so they had to move over to another track. So the power from Moed to make it to the diesel fuel tracks. You can see my sign there, east, west. So a little update on the incline there, like I was talking about earlier. Got the track laid down. I got that lift out section taken care of for the doorway part. Works, everything's working good. I am just probably a couple feet shy of making second level landfall. But like I said, I have to build the modules for the second level. I have one, like I said, temporarily up, which is the first one I'm going off of, and I'm just going to continue going around the layout. I wanted to make sure I had room for, well, don't mind that. That actually that wasn't even supposed to be in there, and I noticed it after I spliced this video together, and I just left it in there. Jay's bed and breakfast. I you know, whatever. It's pretty cool. Unrelated, but still interesting at the same time. So anyways, I wanted to make sure I had room for the brackets to hold the second level modules up, and so on and so forth. Make sure everything was, going to work out and, be put in place correctly, so on and so forth. And everything looks good. So my next mission for moving forward with the second level is to get the measurements for my second module that I want to put up, and so on and so forth, and move forward from there. So we'll see. Stay tuned for that. I'm getting rid of these cement hoppers. We don't need those right now. I think we're going to drop them on check 5. I was actually looking at my operations paperwork, and those cars have actually been on the layout since, I want to say, December, end of November, or sometime in December of last year. And here we are in May, so just goes to show like how long some cars can actually stay on a layout for. I guess when you're doing the type of operations I'm doing through JMRI, and considering the time that I actually have to work on it. So my goal is how I'm doing JMRI. I have I think pretty much most of the cars that I'm using are cataloged in JMRI, and I have staging A and I have staging B. So just a quick example, we'll take train symbol 22K, which is actually the next train that should be coming in, I believe. One of the next trains. But anyways, I'll go on JMRI, I'll build the train, and I'm basically shuffling cars from staging A to staging B. So I'll build that train because it's an off staging train. I'll build it from staging A. Oh no, I'm sorry, no, staging B. I'm going from staging B to staging A. So I'm building it out of staging B. We'll see. I think that paperwork's coming up, so I could double check that. But so 22K, build the train from staging B, and then that train itself drops cars off at EDY, which is physically on the layout, and then they pick cars up from EDY, East Deerfield Yard, and they go to staging A. So essentially, once all the cars are out of staging B to staging A, I'll start the process of going from staging A to staging B. And there's probably, if I remember correctly, I'm not sure, I think I've cataloged like 170 something or 180 something cars. So even with that amount of cars, which that's a decent amount for a layout this size, and it stretches it out pretty good. So I guess the whole thing is like I want a variety of cars, because if I'm doing operations videos like this, I don't want to have obviously the same 20 cars going back and forth. However, if that was the case, I could still make it work, and it would still be good. But fortunately enough, I have a good amount of cars. So we are. So that's just an example of how I'm doing that. Don't mind that, it's just a dryer. Yeah, I hear you. So does everybody else on YouTube. Shush. Alright, so here we are. I'm looking at the list. And you can see. So that is Edbf. So the first, was it 5 cars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6? 6 cars, okay. Those are going to Bellows Falls, and the ones that are highlighted in orange are getting picked up at Bellows Falls and coming to the East Airfield Yard, if that makes any sense. And there's a wood chip car that's going to Beaver Lumber. Oh, I thought we were going to crash into it. Okay. And then when I use GMRI just to build like Edbf, I just basically build my train from the yard, and I'll move it after I get it written down on paper. I'll move it in the GMRI program. So on GMRI, the cars are already at their destination, and then I got my pickups, and then obviously I've written those down so I know. So I know what I'm picking up and taking back to the yard. I mean, I could just build one on JMRI and print it out, but think about it, that's a lot of ink, you know? It's a lot of ink to waste, and I don't want to waste ink like that. Well, I don't want to waste ink at all, but still, you know? I don't mind writing it down. Because by writing it down, I can move forward like with 1 or 2 more operations ahead of time. I'd like to stay ahead of the switch lists. What I like to do, then I could just go through one after another. But that's still kind of challenging too, with working and all that stuff. You know, being that pretty much after I get out of work, I'm doing more paperwork, planning my next day or next few days, doing invoicing, all that fun stuff. And by the time I'm done with that, I'm like, all right, I'm all set with the computer. I don't want to be on it anymore. However, it's working out. I'll probably do some more operation prep this weekend for the upcoming videos. Hopefully I'm not talking too much. If I am, you can just mute the video, LOL. So I think I'm leaving those. We're going to uncouple from the Conrail boxcar after we shove it back a little bit. Because those the one 50-foot high cube and then the 2 60-foot boxcars, I believe I'm taking with me to Bellows Falls. We're going on Edbf train. And that high cube boxcar there, that's a new boxcar. The XCSX boxcar in front of the T-box, that's a new boxcar. I actually picked those up at the Amherst Railway Society's like a little tag sale they had. What was it? The end of April, I believe. All right. So the big blue center beam and a wood chip are going to Beaver Lumber. And those other 3 cars are going to formerly Water Street Freight Terminal. Now I believe I changed the name to Central Transfer. Now we should be putting those on track 1, I believe. I think I had a little issue there with one of the cars. So we have our 6 cars, and we should be the road power should be getting ready shortly. And my XNS locomotive running very well. I don't know if for all you new subscribers, that NS switcher was one of my first DCC locomotives I've purchased back in the end of 2017. December of 2017 I bought that. I've had it ever since. And as far as the patch goes on it, I just used the label maker. I bought some yellow tape. And then, you know, put BERX, printed it out, and slapped it on. Alright, there's our road power. Gonna make their way to the head of the train. They will be heading northbound to Bellows Falls, Mass. I'm sorry, not Bellows Falls, Mass. Bellows Falls, Vermont. And that is a prototypical train symbol, Edbf. I'm not sure if they swap this the symbol around when they do the return trip. However, I would imagine they would. However, for time constraints or whatever you want to call it, I just keep it EDBF because, you know, it's a model railroad and I know what it is, so I just keep it EDBF and just highlight the cars like you saw on the switch list that I'm picking up, because technically that's offline, off the layout. So, you know, I'll stage the train. Once that train leaves, I'll take the cars off, put them away. I'll take the cars that are coming back and put them on the train and just leave it on the track somewhere on the layout. Maybe I'll do another behind the scenes at some point, along with a layout update and a little more of a thorough overview. So here we have Providence and Worcester interchange train returning from Gardner, Mass. If you saw one of my previous videos, you saw that train being built, and that crew took off with those cars. So essentially, they took off. I took the cars off, put them away, put those cars on the layout, and here we are, coming in. And I believe we're on track 3. Yeah, I think that's track 3. So 654, yeah. So I believe they're pulling in on the track number 3. And that crew will disconnect from their train afterwards. I don't believe I had that on video, so. But anyways, we're 26 minutes in. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. I appreciate all of you. You know, I hope you enjoy the content. I know the layout's still in build mode. However, you know, I enjoy operating and doing what I can, but hopefully my schedule, my work, usually April and May with my work schedule are like probably the busiest like times of the landscaping season. When I'm like just on regular mows and I have a side job here and there, it's not too bad. It's pretty manageable. So I'm hoping I'll be able to do some more actual physical work on the layout and still, you know, provide operation videos like this. I'm hoping to keep it on at least one every weekend. Worst case scenario might be every other weekend. We'll see. But you know, summer's coming. Anyways, take care. Thanks for watching. Everybody have a great day. Stay safe. Happy modeling. Real Fan Man signing out.